The intensifying battle between the president of the United States and the man that he fired as head of the FBI.
President Trump speaking out for the first time since James Comey testified before Congress, refuting some of Comey's central claims about their private conversations and telling our John Carl that he is willing to testify under oath.
The president giving cryptic answers, however, to repeated questions about whether he taped conversations in the Oval Office, saying he will let us know soon.
Meantime, sources tell ABC News the president's legal team is firing back, filing a complaint with the Justice Department asking for an inquiry into Comey for leaking details and memos of those private conversations. ABC's Mary Bruce is in Bedminster, New Jersey, where the president is spending the weekend. Mary, good morning to you.
Hi, good morning. Well, the president is now on the offensive, firing back at James Comey, saying he lied about their interactions during his sworn testimony before Congress. And now the president says he's willing to go under oath to prove it. This morning, it's his word.
Those were lies, plain and simple.
Versus his word.
Some of the things that he said just weren't true.
In his first remarks since James Comey's stunning testimony, President Trump declared vindication.
No collusion, no obstruction. He's a leaker.
The president embracing some of Comey's accounts and flatly rejecting others, like Comey's recollection of their February meeting in the Oval Office, where Comey says the president told him to let go of the investigation into fired National Security Advisor Michael Flynn.
I took it as a direction. Right. I mean, this is the president of the United States with me alone saying, I hope this. I took it as this is what he wants me to do. Now, I didn't obey that, but that's the way I took it.
But in a heated exchange with our Jonathan Carl, Trump says it never happened.
I didn't say that.
So he lied about that.
Well, I didn't say that. I mean, I will tell you, I didn't say that.
The president also denies asking Comey for his loyalty.
I hardly know the man. I'm not going to say, I want you to pledge allegiance. Who would do that? Who would ask a man to pledge allegiance under oath? I mean, think of it. I hardly know the man. It doesn't make sense. No, I didn't say that, and I didn't say the other.
Would you be willing to speak under oath to give your version of those events?
100%.
So who really said what? The answers could be on tape.
And you seem to be hinting that there are recordings of those conversations.
I'm not hinting anything. I'll tell you about it over a very short period of time. When is that? Okay. Okay. Do you have a question here?
When will you tell us about the recordings?
Over a fairly short period of time.
Are there tapes, sir?
Oh, you're going to be very disappointed when you hear the answer. Don't worry.
And this morning, we still don't know if those tapes exist. The president there punting on any firm response. But if there are tapes, the House Intelligence Committee has now given the White House 2 weeks to turn them over. Dan and Paula.
Yeah, everybody wants to see those tapes if they do indeed exist. Mary Bruce, thanks for your reporting this morning. So we want to bring in ABC News contributors, conservative commentator Tara Setmeyer and Kate Shaw, former Obama White House lawyer. Ladies, thank you so much for joining us. First and foremost, Tara, you hear that the president is willing to testify under oath. What are you thinking?
Well, that was probably not what was advised to him by staff or his legal counsel. You never want to put your client, I'm not a lawyer, but I've been in politics long enough and seen investigations. I lived through the Clinton era, and as a comps director in Capitol Hill, you never want to put your member or the principal in that situation. But we all know that Donald Trump is notoriously litigious. He's been through this process more than once as far as, testifying, giving a deposition, but he's also notoriously been untruthful about things. And I think that puts him into some jeopardy. And if we actually see him do this voluntarily, I'll be shocked. He may now, though, be compelled to do so because you have a special counsel and he can subpoena the president of the United States if he needs to. And the president just put himself in a situation where that may happen.
Well, I just want to follow up on that with Kate, because so he did. By saying that, did the president up the odds that he'll be asked to testify under oath? And if he does testify, what are the risks?
Well, he certainly does seem to invite some very quick requests sort of to follow on. I agree that his lawyers are probably going to do everything within their power to resist any request to have the president testify under oath. And I do think a whole sort of universe of new legal risks are opened up. You have the possibility not just of obstruction of justice, but also perjury. Remember when Bill Clinton was impeached by the House, of course, acquitted in the Senate, but the two charges for which he was impeached, obstruction of justice and perjury. So when you go under oath, you don't know what questions you'll be asked, and perjury becomes a real possibility.
Let's talk about James Comey. The president is hitting him, calling him a leaker because he did leak those memos of private conversations. But did he do anything illegal?
You know, government officials using the press to get their version of the facts out is kind of a tale as old as time, and I would say it's not unlawful. So long as there's nothing classified, no defense secrets are being divulged. You can call it unethical or distasteful, but unlawful, I think, is a real stretch. Now, it's possible there were FBI protocols that were violated, and so, you know, the Inspector General could look at that, but unlawful seems like a real stretch to me.
Tara, we've got a few seconds left here. Nearly 40% of the country still strongly supportive of this president, despite all of these swirling controversies. As a conservative, how do you think these folks are viewing all of this news?
Well, I think the president and his surrogates have done a good job of constantly throwing out the fake news anytime there's legitimate criticism, so it muddies the water and people don't really know what to do. President Trump is playing the victim constantly. It's, you know, the media's out to get me, I've done nothing wrong, and he projects onto other people what he's actually doing. So right now what you're looking at is really a crisis of credibility. Do you believe the 30-year impeccable record of James Comey, who testified under oath, or do you believe the President of the United States, who we have caught more than one time, not being truthful about things from the size of the crowds at his rallies to what his charitable work foundation has done? So I think when it's presented in that respect, side by side, I think you're going to find that more people will probably go with the FBI director, who has proof, has a record, and has done so under oath.
Right.
What conservatives choose to do and what Republicans choose to do, you see they're circling the wagons, but it becomes a little bit more difficult when the president continues to tweet and say things that he said, and behave the way he's behaved. It makes it a little bit more problematic.
Right now, the base holding strong. Tara and Kate, thank you very much for your analysis.